welcome back to my channel and welcome to those of you who are new. My name is Tori and this is At Home with Tori, where I try to give you guys some budgeting advice and I do budget videos for you guys. I am not an expert, but I like to share what we've learned and maybe it'll help someone along the way. So if you're interested in that kind of content, make sure that you click that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel, and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Today's video is going to be another budgeting video, and I'm doing things a little bit different this time around. I've been watching a lot of budgeting videos and I've been trying to figure out how we're going to adjust to some things that are changing in our budget. Our budget is actually going to be going down just a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that we would be able to stay under budget even with a pay cut. So one thing that I remember learning along the way on my budgeting journey is that we should be living within the 70% rule. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you stay tuned because I'll explain that a little bit more. But that's what I'm going to get into today in our budget, and I'm also going to show you the changes that we're going to make for the upcoming months as we take a pay cut and how that's going to affect us. So make sure to keep watching. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right on into this budget. As you can see, this is going to be technically our first paycheck for the month of June. We did get paid at the end of May, so all of that paycheck went to the very beginning, bills and things like that for June, but now we are in our real first paycheck for June, but technically it's paying the middle of the month bills, if that makes any sense, and then we will get paid again this month. Let's go ahead and get into this. As you can see, this is what is changing for us this pay period. If you've watched my previous videos, which I will link right up here, you will know that I normally do our budget based off of a $1,500 a pay period budget. Now, I've had a lot of people ask why we do bi-weekly budgets, and that's because we get paid bi-weekly. That was one of the most eye-opening things for me when I started budgeting our money, was that it didn't make sense for me to do a monthly budget because we got paid every other week. So why would I do it once a month when we got paid every other week? It just wasn't clicking for me, and I had a hard time figuring it out. So now I do a bi-weekly budget, and that helps me split up our bills so that we can pay them at the right times, and then also so we can basically cut them in half and take them out of each paycheck instead of it coming out of one total paycheck. Because what I was finding is that if I took all of our mortgage out at one paycheck, we would be left with no money for food. Making those adjustments along the way to find out what works for you and what works for your budget, this is what works for us, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. So we will be budgeting $100, or with $100 less than what we normally do. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it really can make a difference on your budget depending on where that extra $100 was going to be spent. So trying to reallocate our money the correct way has been a little bit difficult, but you know what? We're going to get through it. So we are Christians, or I would like to use the term believers more because I feel like the term Christian can get misinterpreted. I believe in Jesus Christ and I am a follower of Christ, and so that's how I like to put it for people who may be unfamiliar with what that means. So anyway, because of that, we do tithe to our church and to other ministries, and that is something that I have always shared and been very open with on my channel. My husband and I personally believe to tithe or give 10% of our income, and we do it a little bit differently because most places that you will find will tell you that if you're going to tithe or you're going to give to charity or something like that, do 10% off of your take-home pay. But my husband and I have come to an agreement that we want to tithe off of our gross pay. So because of that, it looks a little bit weird because my tithe is not 10% of what we bring home, but it is 10% of what we make. So we will start there for our tithe, and that is going to be $200. Let's see if I can adjust this lighting a little bit. It's kind of crazy. So that's going to be $200. Getting into our mortgage, because we had that extra pay period in the month of May, I'm actually able to split this month for June, this mortgage, into, I guess it would be thirds, because the last pay period for May already paid half of our mortgage. So for the next two pay periods for June, I'm going to be doing that in half again so that I can get all this money allocated correctly. So instead of it being the normal $433, I believe it is, what we're going to do is $217. So that looks really low for anybody that watches this video and doesn't watch any of my other videos. I encourage you to do so because that will explain why that's so low. It's not normally that low. So anyway, moving on to car payment, that is going to be $83. I had been putting 88 and I think I just misinterpreted my handwriting one time because it's supposed to be $83. So fixing that. Our electric is $90 and that is on an average billing plan. So I know every single month that this is going to be $90 and there's no guessing about it. Our water bill, however, is not on an average billing plan, and this was the water bill right after we got our kids their swimming pool, so it took quite a bit of water to fill that up. So this is a lot more than what we normally have to spend on water here, but it is $132. Our life insurance is $33 per month. Gasoline is still pretty cheap. It's only $30. And then miscellaneous is going to get $25 this pay period. I like to put miscellaneous into our budget just so that I know that I have a little bit of a cushion in case anything was to be overdrawn. I have that little bit. And even because I've been doing this for so long, now it's kind of added up. So I know I have a cushion in our budget. So our total is going to be $810 with a leftover of $590. Now, I'm going to take our fixed expenses and our cash envelopes and total those up and see what percentage I get of this total to see if we're doing this 70%. I didn't really explain that, but I will in just a second. Okay, so food, we're going to do a pretty big cut this pay period just because I've been noticing I haven't needed to go to the grocery store as often. So I'm going to try really hard to stay within a $500 budget for our family of 4 for the whole month. So that means this pay period we're doing $250. For household, again, it doesn't change much. That's going to get $10 for like toilet paper, paper towels, anything, any paper products or things like that. That's where this comes from. And I have, I think, like $50 put aside for it. So just doing $10 this pay period. I'm combining our personal still, so we're going to do $20 for my husband and I because we're trying to put ourselves on a better budget. I know I talked about increasing this, but because of the pay cut, we're really going to try to just limit our spending as much as possible. And then once again, I have another miscellaneous down here just to, I could just add it up here since we're not technically doing cash envelopes, but I didn't. So whatever. Okay, so this total is going to equal $300, which gives us a leftover of $290. Sorry, you guys can't see that, my bad. $290, and then we follow the arrows to come up here. Now, before we do that, 2 things. Number 1, if you're looking for a budget worksheet and you're on a tight budget, I sell these in my Etsy shop, which I will show you right here, and I'll leave a link down in the description box below so that you can go check it out. These individual paycheck budgets are $1.50 per sheet, or you can purchase the set of 12 for the entire year for $15. So I wanted to provide that for you guys. So if anyone wanted to have like a blank canvas to work with, you can download those and print them off at home. And then what I do is I just put them in a 3-ring binder. You can see I just hole punch them, and then I keep them in a binder, and then I have a paycheck to paycheck budget every single pay period. So I will leave the link for that down below. Now, another thing I wanted to explain to you guys is that I am trying to budget us on the 70% rule. And what that means is that you take your fixed expenses and your variable expenses, and that needs to be 70% of your budget. 20% will go to sinking funds, savings, or debt. And then the other 10% is for giving. So that will include my tithe. For anybody else, that might be like a charitable donation or something like that. But I would encourage you guys, if you don't give to something that you're passionate about. What I believe is that our money is not our own and we can't take it with us. So why not help somebody, even if you feel tight on your budget, because trust me, we have always felt tight on our budget. We have never been in like a comfortable situation as far as our money is concerned. However, we have always tithed as a family, and the Lord has always provided for us. We may not have gotten everything that we wanted, but we always have everything that we need, and we have always been able to pay our bills. So I will say that until I am blue in the face, but we will always tithe. So I wanted to add this up real quick and see just where we were as far as our 70%. Okay, so we're going to do 1,400 times 0.7, and that gives us a total of $980. So I'm just going to write this on here. And then, of course, if you do 10% would be, anybody with math will know, $140. And then for 20%, you just double that, which would be $280. So when you add those all together, that equals $1,400. So this is the number that we're going to try to focus on for our expenses and see if we get close, if we go over. Let's see real quick. So again, our 10% is a little bit different, so that is going to be a little bit more. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is how you find a percentage of a number without knowing the percent. I think our budgeted amount is more like 14%. As far as our tithe is concerned. So let's see what happens. So 217, and this is technically just for this pay period, because this would actually be like 400 and something. So we'll figure that out when we get there. So 217 plus 83 plus 90, 132, 33, 30, and 25. So that is actually $610, which I could have easily just looked there and taken 200 from it. But then we're also going to add this, which is going to be 300, and that's going to be $910. Now, like I said, we were aiming for $980. Is this how our budget's going to look every single month or every single pay period? No, it's not, because our budget changes, and that's why I do this every pay period, so that I know how I need to adjust things. But for now, we're in that 70%. So we are good. All right, now we're going to move over to our sinking funds. And I only have a few that I'm putting into for this pay period, and that has to do with, again, our budget cut, but also because we have been saving for a while. So some of the other categories I don't feel like I need to put into right now, so I'm not going to. Okay, for cell phones, we use Mint Mobile, and that is $5. The reason it is so cheap, normally it's anywhere from $15 to, I think, $40 a month. Depends on what plan you get, but we do ours 1 year at a time. And because you guys have used my discount code to save yourselves the $15 off your renewal, it has allowed me to get a year for free. And like I've said many times before, literally anybody can get a year for free just by referring friends and having them sign up using your code. So if you're looking for a way to get cheaper phone service and reliable phone service, check out Mint Mobile. I'll leave my email down below so you guys can email me for the code, and I will be happy to send it to you so that you guys can save some money. So that is down to $5 a pay period. Our auto insurance is going to get $50 a pay period. I am saving for Christmas. It's going to come up faster than we realize. I'm going to do $40 a pay period again this pay period. And then for both car maintenance and house maintenance, I am going to do $20. So the total for that is going to be $135 with a leftover of $155. Now, what I'm going to do, and this may be against what a lot of people think I should do, I am going to split this amount in half or close to it, and I'm going to put, for a credit card, I'm going to do $80 towards our credit card, and then for our, I'm just going to draw a little line here so I know that that's debt and this is for savings. I don't want to put all of our money towards paying off our debt. I am still going to be paying anything that I make from this channel and anything that I make from my Etsy shop. I'm going to put all of that money towards our debt, but as for any leftover money here, I want to make sure that we are secure. And like I said, with having this pay cut, you don't know what's going to come up, and I don't want to be caught with my head in the sand. So The total for that is going to be $155 with a leftover of 0. So we did do our zero-based budget. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you do so by clicking that subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!